Hello friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. I just wanted to make an announcement that I do take requests for other subreddits. I just read from Entitledparents because they have brand new stories every single day. Not all of the other subreddits do that because they don't have as many members or they don't have enough people adding stories to their subreddit. So please let me know if there's a subreddit that you would like me to read from in the comments section. Anywho, today we have 6 stories out of 3 different subreddits, including Entitledparents, idon'tworkherelady, and a viewer request for choosing beggars. Let's begin. Our first story is by MartaLisa. EM thinks she deserves a trip more than her own 13-year-old son. I've been a teacher for a few years, and I encounter entitled parents more than I wish to, but I guess this comes with the job. This happened in my first year as a real teacher, and the first time I wanted to throttle a parent. Our school has a fund for kids whose parents can't afford extras like school trips, special materials, or things for holidays. So I had this boy, 13, in my class. Great kid, bit of a class clown, but not in a bad way. He was the oldest of 7 at home. Their dad worked in construction and the mom was a stay-at-home mom. They can get the mandatory school stuff, but not much more. That year goes on a 3-day trip every year, and the school would pay for the kid so that he could go with the rest of his class. Throughout the school year, we already informed the parents of the trip. I called the boys' parents to tell them that the school would pay. I spoke to the dad, who was extremely grateful and happy for his son. A couple of weeks later, his mom called. She told me that her son would sadly not be able to go. I was surprised and asked why not, and the mom told me that they, his parents, decided that it would be better spent the money on a nice weekend away for her and her husband. I got confused and explained to her that she didn't have to pay, that the school would. She sneered and said she understood and told me that I could send her the check and she would make sure that everything would be arranged. Now I got what she meant and got quite angry. I explained in my best teacher voice that would not happen. I would get everything arranged for her son to come on the trip. That was the purpose of the fund, and that was what it was going to be used for. The mother got pissed, but understood that she wasn't going to get her way. She told me she wasn't happy, called me selfish, WTF, and hung up. A couple of weeks before the trip, I called them again because I needed to confirm whether or not he was going. I talked to the dad again, and he was very confused as to why I was calling. Of course their son was going. Why not? I explained to him what his wife told me, and I could hear him get upset. He confirmed again that his son was definitely going and that he would talk to his wife. He thanked me again, and that was it. The boy went on the trip, and he had a fantastic time. And on future occasions, I always had contact with the dad and not the mom. Our next story is posted by SanityS demise 09. You were rude, now you get to think about the consequences. This one sort of fits here, but the person didn't exactly pick me out as someone who worked there, but still asked for help after being a jerk. I was at an Ace hardware store to buy some soil. The store is in a small shopping complex, so they have all the bags of soil / mulch, etc. in the parking lot across from their door. I'm in line waiting to pay for soil with about 15 to 20 other people also waiting to check out with one cashier. She is obviously very busy and stressed. The whole store is packed and crazy busy. Karen comes in from outside with an obvious attitude and lays into the cashier. I'm still waiting for someone to help me load my car with stuff I already paid for. You said someone would be out, and now I'm parked here, blocking traffic, and you didn't send anyone. I want help now. Mind you, there's about 6 parking spots right by where the outside stuff is, so her sitting in her car blocking traffic is 100% her fault. The cashier is so polite and apologizes and reminds her that everyone is busy helping other customers and are aware that she needs help, but she'll page someone again for her. Karen stomps out. I get through the line, pay for my soil, and grab a bag from the parking lot and toss it into the back of my truck. Karen is still there, blocking traffic, and has the nerve to ask me for help. Excuse me, I only have 3 bags I need loaded. Do you think you can help get them into my car? Oh, really? Huh. Karen's about to have her day. I tell her, well, I am capable of helping you, but based on how you just treated that poor girl at the cash register, I'm not willing to. I guess you're just going to have to wait this one out. I wanted to lay into her just the way she did that cashier, but I was polite and left it at that. I'm really disappointed in you, moment. She scoffed and said, are you serious? Eye roll. Yes, ma'am, as a heart attack. It'll give you some time to think about your treatment of others. Our next story is by Devisto. It only takes premium. This happened not even 30 minutes ago. I pulled into a gas station as part of my normal routine before work to get my soda and snack to prepare for the long night ahead. As I get out of my car that I, coincidentally, needed to fill up, a Class A choosing beggar from the next pump makes contact with me. Keep in mind, we're currently in California, so you may need a map for any of this to make sense, if you're not familiar with the US. Hey man, I'm from Seattle and trying to get to Las Vegas. Can you spare some money for gas? He says to me rather loud in an everyone look at me voice kind of way. It doesn't take much brain power for me to see through him, and I quickly decline as we are in Southern California, approximately 2.5 hours away from Las Vegas, and the only freeway that leads to here goes straight through Sin City itself. I go inside and get my food and prepaid gas, and come back outside to fill up my car. As I'm filling up my car, I overhear someone sucker into his story, and he starts to drive his car over to the pump where this lady was. As he approaches, he says loudly, "Hey, it only takes premium." I honestly laughed so hard, everyone else started laughing, as the lady quickly declined to help him any further and did not give him any gas at all. If you've been watching until here and are enjoying my content, please put some heart emojis in the comment section down below. Our next story is by Dark Crystal 93. Choosing beggar couple breaks into my backyard on 2 separate occasions. Sorry this is so long. It's a story that involves a choosing beggar couple with an incident involving them individually a week apart. It was mid-morning and I had just woken up and started getting ready for work. I got a cup of tea and booted up my Xbox so I could listen to r/ as I took my sweet time waking up. I was halfway through my first cuppa when I started hearing odd grunting coming from my backyard. I quickly rolled up my blinds, and one of my bedroom windows faces my backyard, to see a random guy trying to unscrew/pry the lock off my garage door. Instantly, I called the police, telling them that someone was attempting to break into my garage. A few minutes later, the cops arrived and approached the man as he was still trying to get into the garage. I had my window open so I could communicate with them while remaining safe in my house, as one of the cops suggested, in case the man became hostile, because they recognized him to be one of those homeless people that is constantly in and out of jail. The exchange went as such. Cop 1, C1. Hey buddy, cop knew the guy by name. Can you put down the screwdriver real quick and come and talk to me over here? The homeless dude, HD. Oh, hi officer, name. Long time no see, how's it hanging? Cop 1. It's fine. Would you mind telling me why you're trespassing on this woman's property and trying to break into her garage? And do not tell me you didn't see the no trespassing on the gate. Homeless dude. Oh no, I saw the sign. I needed to get my stuff out. This guy had made a small hole at the bottom of the wall to stash his drugs in my garage the week prior when I was working late, and now couldn't retrieve them because he couldn't reach them. So naturally, he had to bust the lock to get in. Cop 2. Got the keys from me so that they could confiscate the drugs, as Cop 1 was placing the man in cuffs, and asked him why he thought this was a good idea. Homeless dude looked him straight in the eye and said, "Well, I knocked on the door and no one answered." Cop 1 shook his head and put homeless dude in the back of his squad car and made his report. Made sure I was okay and left me to continue getting ready for work. The story's done, right? Nope! A week later, I had the day off and I was fixing some shelves in my kitchen when I hear my dogs going nuts in the backyard. I had the back door open because I was home, and I thought it'd be nice for the puppers to be able to run in and out as they pleased, plus it was a nice day for Texas in June. I ignored it at first, thinking they were barking at my neighbor's German Shepherd, since I heard him barking as well, when I suddenly hear a woman yelling at the dogs to shut the hell up. I stop what I'm doing and run out of my back door to see what was going on, since I didn't recognize the voice of any of my neighbors. Turns out my dog is barking at a woman, homeless woman, HW, that is currently wheeling her broken bike in my yard. I look at my now open gate behind her and see the lock cut and on the ground. I put my new lock on the gate after homeless dude. I promptly asked who the hell she was and what in her right mind gave her the idea that she could come into my backyard like she owned it. Homeless woman. Can you put your effing dogs up before they attack me? I have 2 floppy-eared basset hounds that are more likely to kiss you to death Me. My dogs are fully in the right to be in their yard and bark at a stranger. That's trespassing. Homeless woman. Whatever. My boyfriend left some stuff here, so I came to get it. I was confused. Excuse me? She huffed. My boyfriend is now in jail and asked me to get the stuff he left in the garage. It dawned on me she was homeless dude's girlfriend. Clearly, when he spoke to her, he forgot that the cops had already removed whatever he had stashed when he was arrested. I informed her about the event and told her that she needs to leave before I call the cops on her next for trespassing. She was oddly calm out of nowhere. Homeless woman. Okay. But first, do you have a pair of shoes I can use? Mine broke because my bike doesn't have any brakes, and I literally almost died. She held up a pair of broken flip-flops. I was beyond pissed at this point and was in utter shock that she had the nerve to ask such a ridiculous question. No, I snapped. You break into my yard, tell me to put my dogs up. Your boyfriend not only created a hole in my garage wall that I have to fix because he stashed his drugs on my property, and now you think I'm going to give you a pair of my shoes because your dumbass wore flip-flops while riding a bike. Homeless woman. Well, you don't have to be such a witch about it. Besides, my boyfriend's in jail because of you, and you owe me. Also, I have epilepsy, and you have to let me sit here for 5 minutes because I almost died riding my bike with no brakes. I doubt she actually has epilepsy. I had had enough. I called the officer that arrested homeless dude. He had given me his number in case one of homeless dude's friends came around. Boy, he called it. As soon as she heard me put Cop 1 on speaker, she takes off running out of my yard and down the street. I give a description of her so an official report can be given. I have since replaced the new locks on my gate and added a second lock on my garage door. It boggles the mind the logic some people have to think that they can just do whatever they want. Our next story is by Writes from Sweden. The time I sued a choosing beggar over 10 pounds, causing him to lose his home and his business. Okay, I admit it. At some point, I was somewhat of a dick here. However, he got himself into this mess. I am a freelance writer. I set up a contract for £3,000 with this man, produced some of the content and delivered it. He said he was incredibly happy with it and told me to produce more. I did. Due to the way in which the contract was designed, the earlier work was less than the later work. It was meant to scale up as his site expanded. This is the way I've always done contracts. It works due to the type of business I work with. After a couple of days, he decides to change the terms of the contract. He wants something completely different, but he wants me to edit the previously delivered content because, in his words, the content is crap because it doesn't conform to the new specifications. I refuse to do so and say if he pays me for the delivered content so far, we can call the contract quits with no financial penalties. He said no. He shouldn't have to pay for content that was not up to snuff, even though he said it was. The content was delivered thus far was worth £300, but based on the contract, this content was worth £10. I said, pay me £10 and I will break the contract. He said he did not want to pay because the content was useless to him. We went back and forth for a few hours and he said, sue me for the money. That is precisely what I did. I'm not a complete dick, so I filed a claim with Money Claim Online in England and Wales for £10. It cost me £25 to do so, but I hate being stiffed. This meant that he would need to pay me £35. I had every right to file for the £3,000, but I did not. He ignored the claim, didn't even dispute it. He ignored mediation. He was then told he had to come to court to deal with the case. He didn't arrive. The judge took one look at the contract and awarded me £3,000. I didn't ask for $3,000, but the judge was pissed at the hoops I had to jump through in order to get my money. I contacted him with the judgment and said, just pay me £10 and we'll call it quits. He ignored me. At this point, I have wasted a year of my life pursuing £10. I was told I was allowed to use a bailiff to collect my £3,000. That was exactly what I did. The bailiff came and seized his work vehicle, his computers, and demanded the money from his bank account. This was all tied to his LTD company, and they had the right to do this. I got my £3,000 back. He lost his business, and I am told his house over this fiasco. Long story short, pay your debts to freelancers. Note, in England and Wales, you're meant to represent yourself at a claim this low. You're not supposed to use lawyers, and if you do, you can't claim fees from the winning party. This is designed to make claims a little bit fair. However, I am pretty much fully trained as a barrister. I never went whole hog. I'm fairly confident I would have won the case, whatever happened. The whole reason I went through this was not because of the 10 pounds. It was because I hate being stiffed. If I didn't teach him a lesson, what is stopping him from stiffing another freelancer on this later? Our final story is by Captain Crunch 1989. Karen tries to get me arrested at my own job interview. This Karen bitched me out about an hour ago. Apparently being white and well-dressed automatically makes me a manager. I did happen to be filling out a job application for security management, but this threw me for a loop. She got angry with me when I told her I didn't work there yet. She gets belligerent and demands the corporate number, which I gave her because it was on the top of the job application. She then launches into a spiel about how I need to be a better employee, and I'm just sitting there thinking, I told you I don't work here yet. WTF? She starts making threats against my life, safety, tells me that she's going to slash my tires, I took the bus here, etc. If that wasn't bad enough, she goes to hit me, I back up, and she misses, causing her to swing more. I have never hit a woman, never restrained, and never made any attempt to get aggressively or defensively with a woman. So after the 5th time she hits me, I grab her wrist and shout, "Enough!" She gets startled and tries to get away. I let go of her and think nothing of it. 2 minutes later, the manager comes through and asks me if I'm okay, stating that he was watching the cameras. The cops show up and ask me if I want to press charges. You're damn right I do. So long story short, I've either nailed the job interview for security manager or I messed up. I'll know in about 30 minutes. Edit. Update. Sorry guys. I know it turned out to be an hour. After an hour-long conversation / interview / police report, management has decided I'm overqualified for the position. Thank you for your support. That's all the stories I have for today. Links to the original Reddit posts will be in the description box below. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. If you enjoy my content, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I've uploaded new videos. Thank you for watching and have a great day.